Ever felt like you don't fit in? Like you're that lone wolf, always on the outside looking in? Well, hold on to your cosmic socks, because that feeling you've been trying to shake off, it might just be your superpower in disguise. You see, being a lone wolf isn't about being alone. It's about being different. And in the grand cosmic plan, different is exactly what we need. Those who march to the beat of their own drum are often the ones who change the world. They're the chosen ones, the pioneers, the galactic community leaders of tomorrow. But here's the kicker. This journey from lone wolf to leader isn't a walk in the park. It's more like a roller coaster ride through the galaxy, with twists and turns that'll make your head spin. And if you don't embrace your uniqueness, if you keep trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you, you might miss out on your cosmic calling. Now, you might be thinking, so what if I'm a bit different? Why does it matter? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because here's where things get interesting. Imagine a world where everyone's the same. Boring, right? Now imagine a world where unique individuals, like you, step up and share their gifts. A world where lone wolves become pack leaders, guiding others towards a brighter future. That's the world we're talking about. But here's the catch. If you keep hiding your true self, if you keep that inner wolf locked away, you're not just holding yourself back. You're holding back the entire universe. Your unique perspective, your out-of-the-box ideas, your ability to see what others can't. These are the tools we need to solve the big problems facing our planet and beyond. And let's face it, our world could use some solving right now. From environmental issues to social inequalities, we're facing challenges that need fresh thinking. That's where you come in. Your weirdness, your different way of looking at things, could be the key to unlocking solutions no one else has thought of. So, the stakes are high. It's not just about you finding your place in the world. It's about you helping to create a better world for everyone. Pretty heavy stuff, right? But don't worry. We're going to show you how to harness that lone wolf energy and transform it into leadership gold. Now, let's dive into something mind-bending, the mirror principle. No, we're not talking about your bathroom mirror, although that can be pretty scary sometimes. We're talking about the cosmic mirror, the way the universe reflects back what we put out. Here's how it works. The world around you is like a giant mirror, reflecting your inner world. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are constantly being bounced back at you in the form of your experiences and the people you meet. Sounds a bit woo-woo? Stick with me here. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how when you're in a good mood, suddenly everyone seems friendlier? Or when you're feeling down, it seems like the whole world is against you? That's the mirror principle in action. But here's where it gets really interesting for us lone wolves. If you've been feeling like an outsider, like you don't fit in, guess what the universe has been reflecting back at you? More experiences of not fitting in. The good news is, we can use this mirror to our advantage. By changing what we project, we can change what gets reflected back. It's like giving the universe a makeover, starting with ourselves. So, how do we do this? It starts with acceptance. Accepting your unique qualities, your quirks, your weirdness. Instead of trying to hide these things, start seeing them as your superpowers. When you start projecting, I'm unique and that's awesome, the universe starts reflecting back experiences that confirm this. But remember, this isn't about changing who you are. It's about changing how you see yourself. It's about embracing your inner wolf instead of trying to be a sheep. This shift isn't always easy. Years of trying to fit in can make it hard to suddenly stand out. But here's a little secret. Everyone feels like a misfit sometimes. Even the people who seem to have it all together. The difference is, some people learn to embrace their uniqueness, while others keep trying to squeeze into a mold that doesn't fit. So, start small. Each day, try to acknowledge one unique thing about yourself. Maybe it's the way you think outside the box, or your ability to see patterns others miss. Whatever it is, give it a mental high five. Say to yourself, this is what makes me special. This is my superpower. As you do this, watch how the world around you starts to change. You might notice people being drawn to your authenticity. You might find opportunities opening up that align with your true self. This is the cosmic mirror showing you that it's okay to be you. In fact, it's essential. Remember, The universe needs your unique perspective. It needs your quirks, your out there ideas, your different way of seeing things. By embracing these parts of yourself, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the world. So, lone wolf, are you ready to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight? Are you ready to see your reflection in the cosmic mirror and say, "Yep, that's me, in all my weird and wonderful glory"? Because when you do, that's when the magic really starts to happen. That's when you start your journey from lone wolf to galactic community leader. But hold on to your cosmic socks, because this is just the beginning. We're about to dive deeper into how you can harness this mirror principle to not just accept your uniqueness, but to use it to lead and inspire others. So, take a deep breath, give your inner wolf a pat on the back, and let's continue this cosmic adventure. Let's talk about something really important, understanding who you are on a deeper level. You know how sometimes you feel different from others, like you don't quite fit in? That's because you're special. You're what we call a chosen one. But what does that mean? It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about having a unique role to play in the big picture of the universe. Think of it like this. In a big orchestra, every instrument is important. The violin isn't better than the drums. They're just different, and both are needed to make beautiful music. You're like that special instrument in the orchestra of the universe. You have your own unique sound, your own special way of adding to the harmony of everything. So, how do you figure out what your special role is? It's all about looking inside yourself. Here's a simple way to start. Find a quiet place where you won't be bothered. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Now, think about the times when you felt most alive, most like yourself. What were you doing? Who were you with? How did it feel? These moments are clues to your true identity. Another thing to try is to ask yourself, if I could do anything to help make the world better, what would it be? Don't worry about whether it seems possible or not. Just let your imagination run free. Maybe you see yourself healing people, or teaching important lessons, or bringing people together. Whatever comes to mind, pay attention to it. It's your inner wisdom speaking to you. Remember, understanding your spiritual identity isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey. Some days you'll feel really connected to your purpose, and other days you might feel lost. That's okay. It's all part of the process. The important thing is to keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep listening to that quiet voice inside you. As you start to understand your spiritual identity more, you'll notice changes in how you see the world and how you interact with others. You might feel more confident, more compassionate, or more curious about the world around you. These are all signs that you're growing into your role as a chosen one. Now, let's talk about something that's super important but not always easy. Being patient with yourself as you grow and change. When you start to understand that you're a chosen one, that you have a special role to play in the universe, it's natural to want everything to change right away. You might want to suddenly have all the answers, or to immediately step into a leadership role in your community. But that's not how it works, and that's okay. Think about how a tree grows. It doesn't suddenly shoot up overnight. It grows slowly, steadily, year after year. Some years it might not seem to grow much at all, but deep underground, its roots are spreading and getting stronger. Your spiritual growth is a lot like that. There will be times when you feel like you're making big leaps forward. Maybe you'll have a sudden realization about your purpose, or you'll connect with someone who really understands you. These moments are amazing, and they're worth celebrating. But there will also be times when it feels like nothing is happening, like you're stuck in the same place. This is when patience becomes really important. During these quiet times, remember that growth is still happening, even if you can't see it. Just like the tree's roots growing underground, your spiritual understanding is deepening. You're processing everything you've learned, and you're getting stronger in ways you might not notice yet. It's also important to be patient with the people around you. As you start to change and grow, you might find that some people don't understand what you're going through. They might not see the world the way you do. It can be frustrating, but try to be patient with them too. Everyone is on their own journey, moving at their own pace. Being patient doesn't mean doing nothing, though. It means keeping going, even when you don't see immediate results. Keep learning, keep exploring your spiritual side, keep trying to understand yourself better. It's like planting seeds in a garden. You don't see the plants right away, but if you keep watering and tending the garden, eventually beautiful flowers will bloom. Remember, becoming a spiritual leader in your community isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process of growth, understanding, and connection. By being patient with yourself and others, you're creating the space for real, lasting change to happen. Now, let's dive into something that can really transform your journey, focusing on positive growth. This is all about where you put your attention and energy. You know how sometimes it's easy to get caught up in what's going wrong, or what you don't have, or how far you still have to go. Well, shifting your focus to what's good, what you're grateful for, and how far you've come can make a huge difference. Think of it like this. Your attention is like a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on becomes brighter and more noticeable. So if you're always shining your spotlight on problems or negative things, that's what you'll see more of. But if you start shining your spotlight on the good stuff, on your progress and the positive things in your life, you'll start to notice more and more positive things. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding a balance and choosing where to focus most of your energy. For example, let's say you're trying to become more patient. Instead of getting frustrated every time you lose your cool, try celebrating the times when you do manage to stay calm. Maybe you only stayed patient for an extra minute today, but that's progress. By focusing on that small win, you're encouraging yourself to keep growing. Gratitude is a big part of focusing on positive growth. Try this. Every day, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for a delicious meal, or a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. By doing this, you're training your mind to notice the good things in your life. As you focus more on positive growth, you'll likely notice changes in how you feel and how you interact with others. You might find yourself smiling more or feeling more hopeful about the future. You might start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. This positive energy doesn't just affect you. It spreads to the people around you too. Remember, as a chosen one, your energy and attitude can have a big impact on your community. By focusing on positive growth, you're not just helping yourself. You're creating a ripple effect that can lift up everyone around you. You're becoming a beacon of hope and positivity in your galactic community. It's important to note that focusing on positive growth doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing negative emotions. If you're feeling sad, angry, or frustrated, it's okay to acknowledge those feelings. The key is not to dwell on them. Feel them, understand them, and then gently guide your focus back to what's positive and what you can learn from the situation. As you practice focusing on positive growth, you'll find that it becomes easier and more natural over time. You'll start to automatically notice the good things in your life and in yourself. This positive focus will help you stay motivated on your spiritual journey even when faced with challenges. It's like building a strong foundation for your role as a community leader, a foundation of optimism, resilience, and gratitude. Here's the continuation of the script, covering sections 4, 5, and 6 of the outline. We're all on a journey, but some of us are meant for something bigger. You might feel different, like you don't quite fit in. That's because you're a chosen one, someone with a special role in the universe. But how do you figure out what that role is? It's all about looking inside yourself and understanding who you really are. Think of it like this. You're a seed with the potential to grow into a mighty tree. But first, you need to know what kind of seed you are. Are you an oak, meant to stand strong and provide shelter? Or are you a willow, flexible and able to bend without breaking? Your spiritual identity is like that. It's the core of who you are and what you're meant to become. To find your spiritual identity, start by asking yourself some simple questions. What makes you feel most alive? When do you feel like you're doing something important? What dreams keep coming back to you, even when you try to ignore them? These aren't just random thoughts. They're clues to your true self. Try this easy exercise. Close your eyes and imagine the best version of yourself. Not what others want you to be, but who you feel you're meant to be. What are you doing? How are you helping others? This image is a glimpse of your spiritual identity. It might be fuzzy at first, but the more you think about it, the clearer it will become. Remember, Finding your spiritual identity isn't about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering who you've always been deep down. It's like cleaning a dusty mirror. As you wipe away the doubt and fear, you start to see your true self more clearly. As you begin to understand your spiritual identity, you'll notice changes in how you see the world and how you act. You might feel more confident, more connected to others, or more driven to make a difference. These are all signs that you're on the right track, moving from being a lone wolf to becoming a leader in your community. Now, here's something important to remember. Becoming the leader you're meant to be doesn't happen overnight. It's like planting a garden. You can't expect flowers to bloom the day after you plant the seeds. Spiritual growth takes time, and that's okay. Think about how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. It doesn't just sprout wings and fly away. It goes through a process called metamorphosis, which takes time. While it's in its cocoon, it might seem like nothing is happening. But inside, big changes are taking place. Your spiritual journey is a lot like that. There will be days when you feel like you're making huge strides, and other days when it seems like you're standing still. Both are normal and necessary parts of the process. On those slow days, remember that growth is still happening, even if you can't see it yet. Patience isn't just about waiting. It's about keeping faith in yourself and your journey, even when things are tough. It's like learning to play an instrument. At first, you might only be able to play a few notes. But if you keep practicing, even when it's frustrating, one day you'll be able to play beautiful music. Here's a simple way to practice patience. Each day, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Maybe you're a little kinder than you were yesterday, or you understood something that used to confuse you. These small steps add up over time. Remember, every great leader in history had to go through their own journey of growth. They weren't born knowing everything or having all the answers. They learned, they struggled, and they grew, just like you're doing now. As you're on this journey of becoming a spiritual leader, it's super important to keep your eyes on the good stuff. It's like driving a car. You go where you're looking. If you're always focusing on what's wrong or what you don't have, that's all you'll see. But if you train yourself to look for the positive, you'll find more and more good things in your life. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing where to put your energy. Think of it like tending a garden. You could spend all your time pulling weeds, or you could focus on watering and nurturing the flowers. Both need to be done, but it's the flowers that make the garden beautiful. One powerful way to focus on positive growth is through gratitude. Every day, try to find 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. When you look for things to be grateful for, you start to see how much good there is in your life. This positive focus changes how you experience your spiritual journey. Instead of feeling like you're always fighting against something, you start to feel like you're growing towards something wonderful. It's like the difference between running away from a monster and running towards a finish line. Both might look the same from the outside, but they feel very different on the inside. As you practice focusing on the positive, you'll notice that it becomes easier to see opportunities for growth and leadership. You might start to notice ways you can help others or situations where your unique gifts are needed. This is how you begin to step into your role as a community leader, by seeing the good and the potential all around you. Remember, your thoughts have power. They shape your reality and influence how others see you. When you focus on positive growth, you become like a beacon of light, attracting others who are also on a spiritual journey. This is how lone wolves start to form packs, and how spiritual communities begin to grow around natural leaders. Here's the continuation of the script, covering the remaining sections and including a conclusion. Let's talk about something really important, the cycle of spiritual growth. It's like a spiral staircase that leads you higher and higher. Each turn of the spiral brings you back to a familiar place, but you're always at a higher level than before. This cycle starts with awareness. You notice something about yourself or the world around you. Maybe you realize you're not as patient as you'd like to be, or you see a problem in your community that needs fixing. This awareness is like a little seed being planted. Next comes acceptance. Instead of beating yourself up about what you've noticed or trying to ignore it, you accept it as part of your current reality. This is like watering the seed. It might seem counterintuitive, but accepting where you are is the first step to changing it. Then comes the choice to change. This is where you decide to do something about what you've noticed. Maybe you choose to practice patience, or you decide to take action on that community problem. This choice is like the seed starting to sprout. After that comes action. You start doing things differently, trying new approaches, learning new skills. This is where the sprout starts to grow into a plant. It takes energy and effort, but it's also exciting because you can start to see changes happening. Finally, there's integration. This is where your new way of being or doing becomes a natural part of who you are. The plant is now firmly rooted and bearing fruit. You've grown, and you're ready to start the cycle again at a higher level. Here's the cool thing about this cycle. As a chosen one, you're not just going through it for yourself. As you grow and change, you're showing others that it's possible. You become a living example of the growth cycle, inspiring others to start their own journey. Now, let's get practical. How can you apply all of this in your daily life? Here's a simple practice that can help you step into your role as a spiritual leader. Start each day with a few minutes of quiet reflection. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Then, ask yourself these questions. What am I grateful for today? How can I grow a little bit today? How can I make a positive difference in someone's life today? These questions help you focus on gratitude, personal growth, and service, all key aspects of being a spiritual leader. Throughout the day, pay attention to opportunities to put your answers into action. Maybe you express gratitude to someone who helps you. Perhaps you challenge yourself to learn something new or face a fear. You might find a small way to help a friend or a stranger. As you do this day after day, you'll start to notice changes. You'll become more aware of the good things in your life. You'll see yourself growing and changing. And you'll start to have a bigger positive impact on the people around you. This is how you start to shift from being a lone wolf to becoming a community leader. It's not about making huge, dramatic changes all at once. It's about consistent, small actions that add up over time. Now, let's be real. This journey isn't always going to be easy. There will be challenges along the way. You might face doubt, fear, or criticism, both from others and from that little voice in your own head. But remember, these challenges are part of the journey. They're not roadblocks. They're opportunities for growth. One common challenge is self-doubt. You might think, who am I to be a leader? I'm not special or talented enough. But here's the truth. Being a chosen one isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being willing to grow, to learn, and to make a difference. Your unique experiences and perspective are exactly what make you qualified to lead. Another challenge might be feeling overwhelmed. The problems of the world can seem so big, and you might feel too small to make a difference. When you feel this way, remember the story of the starfish thrower. A man was walking along a beach covered in stranded starfish. He saw a boy throwing them back into the ocean one by one. "You can't save them all," the man said. "You can't make a difference." The boy picked up another starfish, threw it into the sea, and said, "I made a difference to that one." You don't have to solve all the world's problems. Start with what's in front of you, and your impact will grow over time. You might also face resistance from others who don't understand your journey. Some people might be uncomfortable with the changes they see in you. That's okay. Not everyone will get it, and that's not your responsibility. Stay true to your path, and the right people will be drawn to your light. Remember, every challenge you face and overcome makes you stronger and wiser. It gives you experiences that you can use to help others who are on a similar journey. Your challenges are part of what qualifies you to be a leader. So, here we are. We've journeyed together from understanding what it means to be a chosen one, to exploring the mirror principle, to learning about the cycle of spiritual growth. We've talked about the importance of patience, focusing on the positive, and overcoming challenges. But this isn't the end of the journey. In fact, it's just the beginning. You are at the start of an incredible adventure, the adventure of becoming who you're truly meant to be, of stepping into your role as a leader in the Galactic community. Remember, this journey isn't about becoming someone different. It's about uncovering the amazing person you've always been deep down. It's about letting your light shine so brightly that it inspires others to do the same. As you move forward from here, keep these things in mind. Trust your inner wisdom. You have a deep well of knowledge within you. Learn to listen to it. Embrace the process. Growth takes time, and every step of the journey is valuable. Stay open to learning. The universe has many lessons to teach you. Be ready to receive them. Connect with others. While your journey is unique, you're not alone. Find your spiritual tribe and support each other. Keep your vision big. You're part of something much larger than yourself. Let that inspire and guide you. You are a chosen one. You have a unique role to play in the unfolding story of our universe. It's time to step out of the shadows, to move from being a lone wolf to becoming a leader. The world needs your light, your wisdom, your courage. So go forth, shine brightly, and lead the way. The Galactic community is waiting for you. Your journey as a spiritual leader starts now. Are you ready? Remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Take that step today. The universe is cheering you on, and so am I. You've got this, chosen one. Now go out there and make your mark on the cosmos.